Everybody, welcome to another episode of Daily Energy. I'm your host, Araya Eden. The day's energy is about taking care of business. It helps us to balance our personal lives and work. So it's about finding a work-life balance. And this basically means that taking calculated risks, taking care of responsibility, but also enjoying a little playfulness. Okay, focusing on self needs and what is beneficial for ourselves. It's going to be an emotional day for some because we're getting closer and closer and closer and closer to Mercury retrograde. So communication is going to and the things affected by communication is going to intensify. Okay, until we get to what is it like I don't know is it if it's March the 4th or March the 14th, so somewhere up in there when we get to Mercury retrograde. Okay, it messes with your communication, but this day is just the energy that asks for us to find balance. Okay, work when you're at work, actually work. All right, make sure you're taking care of business. This is a day to apply for a job. This is a day to put in a resume. It's a day to make sure you're doing your due diligence. Okay. Quality. You want to do quality checks. Check yourself. Okay. Check yourself. If you check yourself, then you will be able to put out quality in yourself. Okay. So this is basically integrity that I'm talking about. Okay. Quality, internal quality, to me, it comes out as integrity outwardly. Okay. Try to refrain from being codependent. Okay. Be assertive, but don't be codependent to where you basically try to have other people live for you, because that's impossible. I think that's impossible because there's only one person that can live your life. But when we're codependent, it's like, we use other people, places, and things as a crutch. But when we don't have those things, it's like, now what? What are we going to do? You see? So that's why I said, focus on you and your beneficial becoming. Okay? Don't neglect yourself. Try not to isolate from the struggles of life, because when you isolate instead of addressing them, then it's like when you come back from isolation, you're still going to be faced with those problems. So it's so important that we find a way to solve those issues. So that means face it. Mood swings aren't going to help. They're just going to they're going to be there when you get back to it. Okay. So work on your mood swings, work on emotional intelligence today and emotional management. Manage your emotions. And today, this is what is going to be needed. I'm telling you. Send me a message. Be like, Oraya. Oraya. Okay. Because I already know. Okay. I have to prepare myself because, I'm an emotional person. That's why I do these daily energy videos, so I know what may come up. So if I know what may come up, then I am already prepared and have prepared myself for what the day may bring. You see? So this day, also it brings in the need for awareness, self-awareness, because when you're aware of self, you're better capable of checking yourself to know that when it's a you problem and when it's a them problem. And sometimes we think it's a them problem, but when really it's a you problem. They say something and you get upset because of what they said, but what they're telling you is the truth. And you problem is the fact that you don't want to be accepting of the truth because you want to be hoodwinked and bamboozled, because you want to escape reality, but you shouldn't try to do that. You see, so I admire, even though the truth hurts, I admire people who are honest with me. because they give me my power back. You see, people who don't tell you the truth, they take away your power. They take away, like I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but they take away something from you. They take away your choice. They take away your choice to say yes. They take away your choice to say no. They take away your choice. And so that's what's happening when we get mad when somebody's not honest with us. We're not getting mad at them because they lied. We're getting mad at them because they took away our choice to choose. We don't really care about what they do. But we do care about how what they do affects us. At least that's the case for some of us anyways. You see? And so today also highlights decision making. That's what they end up taking away, our rights to make our own decisions. And I don't feel anyone should have the right to take away your choice to make your own decisions for you. Because when it's all said and done, you are going to be the only ones responsible for yourself. You're going to be the only one that is responsible for you. When I was going through, for years, there wasn't anybody there holding my hand. So if I went through all of that by myself, you see what I'm saying? If you went through all of that by yourself, what gives them the right to try to take over and basically manipulate you and control your life? And I'm going to be honest. You'll be a fool if you do. I will be a fool if I do. Because we didn't go through all of that for that. We went through all of that to stand in our power, to be assertive, to be authentic, to be wise, to be ourselves, to learn more so that we may be able to do more. So in order to get the best that life has for you, you must take the journey that God has for you. You must do this for yourself. And although many of us are on the journey together, there is only you that's going to be responsible for what you consume and what you don't consume, what you meditate on and what you don't meditate on, what you self-reflect about, what you don't self-reflect about. You get where I'm going with this? You are going to be responsible for you when it's all said and done. So it's much needed today that we do what we must do to reduce stress, to be honest with ourselves so that we can get further and become more successful. Those who don't use this energy correctly, they will end up being stagnant. They will be in doubt. They will doubt themselves because they never took the time to actually get to know themselves. So they'll end up doubting themselves. So this day is also for those who don't use this energy effectively. It may cause uncertainty, mood swings, and of course, we talked about the codependency of it all. So today, it will be beneficial for us to work more on our internal than our external. And although this day nudges us to be generous, we shouldn't do so at our own cost. We shouldn't do so at our own expense, right? Okay, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't put other people's needs before our needs, because you know what I'm going to tell you, right? Because I pretty much tell you this all every day, that in order to be selfish or selfless, you must first be self. So, I told you, Father took me out of that energy like real quick, that mindset real quick of thinking that I had to sacrifice myself for everybody else. But when it's all said and done, after I went through everything that I went through, I realized that I was the only one that was going to stand up for me. Other people were just going to take from me, you see? And I don't mind giving, because I have been equipped with what it takes to be able to give. You see, I'm to be a lender, not a borrower, okay? But some people, we try to borrow from those who borrow, and they don't have nothing to give. You see how, you remember I told you about that the other day? So I don't mind it. But at the same time, the mindset that I'm in right now is that I'm going to take care of me. Because if I'm no good, trust and believe, my environment is no good. And those that are affected by my energy will be no good, even when they think they're good. You see? And so, although this day nudges us to do that, we can't do that at our own cost, okay? We can't sacrifice ourselves. We must refrain from using other people as a crutch, because when they go their way, some of them go astray, we're left there. And if we're putting too much weight on them, we're going to fall. And so we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet here. Okay. All right. If we do this, we're going to understand our desires better. We're going to understand how to use our emotions to create better. We're going to also be able to produce in business better. Okay. And so today is about business. And look, those who are paid are due their karma today, they're going to get it. So I don't want you to think that people can just do you wrong and think that they're going to get away with it, because they're not. Okay? They're not. All right? They're not going to get away with it. It's only a matter of time. And when I get into the predictions today, the predictions at the end of this video, they basically spell out that, hey, somebody today, they think they're getting away with something, but they're not. All right? So to make the most of the day's energy, we are to, 1, self-reflect to clarify goals and intentions. 2, openly communicate truthfully with ourselves and others. 3, practice emotional management. They say like, turn your tongue in your mouth a number of times before you speak. And I told you about, I watched Korean dramas, and I see like the old Joseon era, they like grasp their clothing on their side. So I find this interesting, because like I said, I'm an emotional being, very much so. So we must also take care of our responsibilities, be willing and be flexible, knowing when to adapt and when not to adapt. Okay, knowing when to compromise and when not to compromise. Don't always compromise yourself. You shouldn't always compromise. It should be, I do for you, you do for me. But it should not be you doing, you doing, you doing, you doing. That's going to get old real quick. And if it don't get old real quick, it's going to cause you to lose your sense of self. Okay. So if you feeling like you don't know who you are anymore, that's because you spent too much time with the narcissist, because that's exactly how a narcissist will make you feel. So we must also take advantage of opportunity, maintain balance and focus, get inspired and be positive, take actionable steps toward goals. 10, do not expect people to be grateful for the little things, engage in activities that promote mindfulness, and celebrate progress and reward self. Now the predictions for today, y'all know I'm doing some rhyming predictions, right? So it's a little bit mysterious, but I hope you're still able to get what I'm trying to say. All right? This is just makes it better for me to tie it all together. So I'm going to read this to you, okay? So slits and saws, cuts are made. In construction, stones are in what? Stones are in stones are edged and pavements paved. Okay. I'ma start over. Sticks and stones and cuts, slits and saws and cuts are made. In construction, stones are edged and pavements paved. Trees cut down to make a path. At this rate, the world won't last. Sticks and stones, words break bones. Sticks and stones, idiot moves, but hearts made glad. Revitalized and energized are those awake. Who is laughing now as those being or ask those being paid? To the bank, the benefits they do take, as the late are made first, as the last are made first, and others delayed. Stocks and dividends, premiums and rewards, all may change at the meeting of the board. All may change at the meeting of the board. Coffee awake me. Are these perks real? Something about coffee, performance, and thrill. Projections, prints, and character assassination. Country folk talk, preservation of plantations. Insignificant to them are those weak and fruitless. But at this point in Revelation, all that talk is useless. Foam and rubber, toys and sports, equipment may be affected by all sorts. Guns and allies, machines and Zoom, all prepare as war comes soon. Yeats and spiral movement, Fibonacci cold, smoke and substance, out butts and nose. Watch the thief, they may be close. Will they catch the criminal? No one knows. It will irk and cause panic and dismay. Sticks and stones thrown and notice given. Understanding and knowledge shared with revelation. Catch, cards and game and snakes are laid. South America, where the poison has a bite. Baccarat, referees, judges, and rights. Ben on the mountain top. Ben marked the holy spot. Bibles and findings write and compose. Animals get out of what is not enclosed. Who left the gate open to the cage and coop? Together they stand, divided they fall, as Confederates rage through it all. Flags repaired, but torn again, as God sets the stage to help what's within. At this rate, the meteor falls. Things occur that affects them all. Done to set right the wrong, all occur for David's throne. One day, all will sit where they belong, metal and chemical, up until then. Bills exchanged and engineering, emergency room visits and bodies found, names changed and flashes made, one by one, karma's paid. I love you, my friend. Gublewan, hearts go out You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye.